All right, let's get this thing going. Is it there? Awesome. Hey, so today I am making a video about a subject I am incredibly passionate about, and what I mean by that is it pisses me off. And the reason why it pisses me off is because I love people, I love movies, I love the storytelling process, and actors are the most passionate group of people I've ever met, and they are exploited and abused the worst of anyone I've ever known. And I get it. There's a lot of actors. You know, they're all fighting for the same position, so you're willing to do anything. But today I am making a video called The 5 Things You Should Never Do as an Actor, or just at least principles to consider before taking a movie. Because I want you to avoid the heartache that I have seen so many actors go through. So let's just get right into it and share this video with actors that you know, because save them time, save them from mistakes, and help them out so that they don't take stupid projects. Let's start on one. I wrote it down here. Don't take every project. That's super important because when you're getting started, you just want to get as much as you can under your IMDb and your portfolio and things like that. In the business world, they have something called qualifying your leads. That means make sure that who you take on is worth your time. So before you take on a script in a movie, are they worth your time? How do you measure this? You measure this by a couple things. Are they organized? Do they actually have a plan for their movie? Is it going to get released? Is it even going to get seen? Does it matter? Don't let them sell you on visions where they're like, oh, we have a connection to Universal or something like that. Don't listen to them. Most of the time it's not true. If they say that, be like, wow, that's awesome. Who is it? Please tell me more about this connection. I would love to know your plan because I fully devote to any film I get into, and I want to know 100% that I can help you the best I can, but I also want to know on your end what you're doing to make this all come together because I'm excited to be a part of this. Every movie's a business. Make sure they have a plan. Make sure they have a plan for their movie, distribution, otherwise. And make sure they have a schedule for the day of the shoot, because if they invite you to a 10-hour shoot day and they keep you there for 18 hours, don't work with those people because they're not respecting you or your talent or anyone else on the crew, especially if it's unpaid. Because as an actor, when you're starting out, you're taking unpaid work. Make sure they uphold their part of the bargain. You are talented. Make sure that you are getting what you deserve because you are using your time, your talent, all your extra time to research and practice your craft. The very least the filmmaker can do is give you a plan and tell you how it's going to be done and where it's going to be done and at what time. So don't take every project. Make sure the filmmakers are passionate, organized, and have a vision. And if you can get on board with that, you're going to have a good time. Next up, don't do stunts. From the world of risk management, we measure everything in probabilities and statistics. Did you know that if I jump off the back of a car and do a somersault or something like that because some indie filmmaker told me who had no crash pads or anything, I'm probably going to get hurt? You want to know why? Because in real life, how often are you going to jump from the top of a car, land, do a somersault? Probably once in your whole life, and it would be a stupid mistake that you look back on. He's asking you to do it on, or he or she is asking you to do it on 3 different angles and 3 different takes 10 times. You're assessing the risk of essentially living for 1,000 years, you know, if you do the same stunt 10 times. Because in real life, you probably wouldn't do it more than once in your entire life. Don't do stunts unless it's been very meticulously measured out. They have a stunt coordinator, something like that. Because if it's not making you feel comfortable, tell them to rewrite the script. I'm not kidding about this. Don't do stunts. Next up, third one is never do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. We are finally living in an age where people are speaking up, where men and women or anyone who's acting inappropriately on set or otherwise is being called out. Primarily like with the Me Too movement, for example. So if there's ever a producer or a filmmaker that's engaging you in like the early process of getting you on a film, never be uncomfortable, or on set or off. You know, don't be alone with them if it makes you feel uncomfortable and you don't trust the person. If you want to meet and talk about the script, meet in a public place like a coffee shop. If they want to meet in their apartment, don't do it. Be like, excuse me, that's unprofessional. This is a business. You do realize that the Hollywood industry is worth $42 billion a year, and if you want to be a part of it, I don't want to be in your apartment, I want to be in a coffee shop. Never be uncomfortable. Always be ready to call the BS. Don't be afraid to lose that job of acting. Call out the baloney. Defend yourself and raise your standards on what makes you uncomfortable. Don't just say this is the film industry. It's not the film industry. You are the film industry. You are the talent. You are the person who is talented. Don't let them give you that idea that is somehow this is acceptable. It's not. Never let anyone make you feel uncomfortable. You know? Don't do anything on set that makes you uncomfortable. Speak up. You're not going to lose the position. They can work around you. You want to know why? They can't roll the camera without you. And if you aren't there, the whole thing is a loss. You have the power. I'm being serious. Fourth one is don't be desperate. Again, this is very similar to the first one, but just don't be desperate. Don't take jobs if it's not worth your time. You know? You're taking time away from like your career, your family, things like that. Don't be on projects that don't matter. Don't be desperate. Take stuff that is with teams you connect with, people that are involved, they have meaningful stories to tell, you see their vision. That's a very similar notion to the first one I brought up, but just don't be desperate. And the fifth one is the same exact thing. I'm just restating it because it's so important. Make sure the products you get on are worth a darn. Make sure they have a plan, a vision. Make sure it gets distributed. I don't care if they're saying, oh my God, this is gonna be the biggest film I've ever done. It's gonna be on Amazon Prime. Okay, how are you doing it? Are you doing self-distribution on Prime or this and that? Like, be educated as an actor. Find out what they're gonna do so that they don't bamboozle you, so they're not wasting your time because you're talented. And share this with your friends because you guys deserve to be respected for the talent that you are, and you don't deserve to be abused, and you don't deserve to have these things happen. So speak up. Know your rights, and work with great filmmakers and tell great stories. Do that, and keep inspiring the generation of tomorrow with the stories you tell and the performances you do. All right, keep rocking.